Welcome to the Counseling Department presentation for Virtual Senior Parent Night. The Counseling Department is here to help you navigate through all things senior year related. We know that senior year is overwhelming. Several of us have been parents of seniors just like you, so we want to help you navigate through all of this overwhelming information. We're going to walk you through a lot of information, but we're also going to show you where you can find it throughout the school year through the Counseling Department website. Last year, we spent a lot of time updating our website and making it easily accessible for all the information that you will need. At the top of the Counseling Department website is a link to class information. You can hover over it and drop down to Senior Class of 2022. When you get to the Class of 2022 page, at the very top you will see a link to the Class of 2022 Senior Sponsors website. While the Counseling Department website is where you go for all things academic, like graduation requirements or planning for college, the Senior Sponsors take care of all things non-academic, such as homecoming, caps and gowns, yearbook, and the graduation ceremony. And this is where you will find all of that information. Going back to the academic side, on the Counseling Department website, scroll to the bottom of that same Class of 2022 page, and you can see links to all kinds of things college search related, such as transcript requests, recommendation letter requests, information about Hope and Hope Rigor, and scholarship links. Now that I've walked you through the Counseling Department website, here's an overview of what we will be discussing during this Counseling Department presentation tonight. Senior meetings, the importance of creating a Georgia Futures account, college visits and college fairs, applying to college, sending transcripts, selecting the correct admissions test, Hope Scholarship and Hope Grant, scholarships in general, letters of recommendation, and the importance of staying connected this school year.
Good evening, students and families. This is Ms. Cook here. I serve students with the last names GR through LA. We will be conducting our senior meetings that we do every fall coming up on September 7th. Prior to these senior meetings beginning, each counselor will be visiting the senior homerooms to do a presentation regarding senior plans, post-secondary plans, graduation requirements, and giving lots of resources for students to plan for their future. In their individual senior meetings, seniors will be called up over the next month in order to meet with their counselor and be given lots of resources for helping them plan. In the senior meeting, the student will receive a graduation plan check sheet and an unofficial transcript. We will review graduation requirements with them and make sure we are all on the same page with what they have left to meet graduation requirements. We will verify the spelling of their name for their diploma, and they will verify their Social Security number so that it's correct at the end of the year for transcripts and Hope Scholarship. On the transcript that the students will receive, they will be able to see their current overall cumulative East Coweta High School GPA, and we will also give them a Hope GPA report that will show their current Hope GPA as of the end of last year, including any summer classes that they took. A 3.0 is what is required for students to be Hope eligible. On the Hope report, it will also show the number of rigor courses that the students have taken as of the end of junior year and summer. 4 is what is required by the state. These classes are what are considered rigorous by the state. There is a list, and they are listed on our ECHS counseling website if you would like to see what courses are rigorous courses. 4 is what is required by the state in order to be Hope eligible. They will receive a Hope report so that you will be able to look at their Hope GPA and their Hope rigor courses. We'll also talk about their post-graduation plans and making sure they're doing what they need to do right now if they are 4-year college bound, 2-year college bound, technical school, military, or going into the workforce. And then lastly, we will go over any questions that they may have and send them home with lots of resources to speak with you about. One of the resources that each senior and student at ECHS has at their fingertips is their Georgia Futures account. The website is gafutures.org. On there, they can create an account and do a lot of various things that will help them for planning for their future. They can explore different careers. They can see their current HOPE GPA, which is updated after every semester. They can apply to Georgia colleges straight through Georgia Futures. They can send transcripts directly from Georgia Futures. They can look at financial aid applications, and there's also a great free scholarship search where they can put in various information about themselves to search for different scholarships that may apply to them. It is a great resource, and I highly suggest that each of your students create an account and take a look at the resources there for them.
College representatives and military recruiters have valuable information for our students. Through the last year, we have built a web page on our website that provides current information. With just a few clicks, students and parents alike can find contact information, schedule meetings, and have the most up-to-date information for making those important decisions about the next step in you or your student's education. On the College, Career, and Military Visits page of the ECHS Counseling website, you will find information regarding four-year college, technical school, and the military. At the top of the page is a link to our virtual college page, which contains links to the college's websites and the names of representatives who specifically support ECHS. Next, you will find our College Visits section. We provide both small group and large group informational sessions. When colleges visit our cafeteria, students do not have to sign up for these. They simply talk with the rep during their lunch. Our small group sessions are limited to upperclassmen or seniors, and the students must register. Students are responsible for classwork that is taught or assigned while they are in these mini informational sessions. During lunch, we like to highlight our technical schools as well through a program we call Technical Tuesdays. Again, students can find more about these programs by talking with the faculty and staff directly. Many times our technical programs bring students and equipment with them so the students can get a good picture of what the program entails. Many students are interested in options within the military. Our military representatives frequently visit our cafeteria. Interested students can talk with recruiters then or click on the link of our site for immediate contact information. Through each of these arenas, ECHS students can access information regarding many opportunities. Our students are college and career ready. Applying to college can seem overwhelming. You may want to have a calendar or agenda set aside to help keep you organized with deadlines. Students should register and take the appropriate admissions test for the college they are interested in attending. For many schools in the state, students will use their Georgia Futures account to apply. Students, the application process should be on your own. Think of it as your first step to becoming the independent person you are meant to be. It helps to have your transcript, resume, and social security number, along with your debit card on hand before you start. As you begin your applications, pay attention to detail. Provide the schools what they are asking for, and check your grammar and spelling. If your college requires essays, plan accordingly to ask someone to proofread your work prior to uploading. Most applications are online. Although some schools waive application fees throughout certain months, many do require you to pay an application fee. Your college will want you to send official test scores from College Board or ACT. If your school is in the state, you will request your transcript to be sent through your Georgia Futures account. For out-of-state or private colleges, you will request your transcript on the home page of the ECHS Counseling website. Follow the instructions given. Some colleges require recommendation letters. Again, this is another reason to set aside the time to organize yourself. The Common Application is used by over 900 colleges nationwide. There is a good chance that one of the schools you are interested in uses this platform. When using Common App, just as in many other applications, you will enter your counselor and teacher's information. It is a good idea to let these people know that you have used their names for recommendations.
Ms. Shelnut talked a little bit about sending transcripts. There are several kinds of transcripts. An unofficial transcript is simply one that is for your own personal use. Official means that it is coming directly from the high school and is sent from the high school straight to the college. This can be done either in a sealed envelope that you can pick up from the counseling office and mail yourself to the admissions office of a college or include in a scholarship application, or electronically through Georgia Futures or through another transcript service. It's very important when you are completing an application that you read the directions and know exactly how they want you to send your transcript. Most colleges in the state of Georgia want you to use Georgia Futures and accept electronic transcripts that way. There are some that prefer the Common App, and there are some that prefer a transcript service such as send.edu. So it is very important that you read the directions so that you can submit the transcript the way that they want it so that it can be included in your application. All colleges will require a final transcript to be submitted. This is a transcript after the end of spring semester when all of your classes for the entire year are completed, and it is proof that you have graduated from East Coweta High School. These final transcripts will not be ready until early June. Sometimes in a student's application status check with a college's application, it will indicate that a final transcript is required for admission. While yes, it is required for admission in the fall of 2022, you do not have to submit a final transcript before you can be admitted to college. That is letting you know that you will have to submit a final transcript once you do graduate. It is very important in the graduation checkout sheet that is given to you the week before graduation that you make sure and indicate what college you are going to attend so that we know where to send your final transcript. The only way that we know where you are going to college and where we need to send your final transcript is if you tell us on that graduation checkout sheet. Admissions testing is always a little bit confusing, but honestly, this year it is particularly confusing. Most colleges that are four-year schools require the ACT or the SAT. Most technical schools require the AccuPlacer, and the military requires the ASVAB. Last year it was much easier because most colleges and technical schools waived testing requirements. This year, some schools have announced that they are waiving test requirements, and some schools have not made any announcements yet. We are not able to keep a list of what schools have waived that testing requirement and what schools have not because it is constantly changing, and we are not always notified when a school decides to waive that testing requirement. So it is very important that you as a student and as a parent are looking at the admissions requirements for specific colleges that you are applying to determine whether they have waived their testing requirements or if they are still requiring them. The ACT and SAT really need to be taken in the fall before Christmas in order to have enough time to get the results back, to possibly have time to test again if your scores aren't high enough, or to meet deadlines for applications. The AccuPlacer can be taken in the spring. Right now, most technical schools have waived that requirement through the summer, not necessarily through the fall, so they're not giving the AccuPlacer right now. The ASVAB is going to be scheduled to be administered at East Coweta High School sometime this fall, possibly November, and once that test date is scheduled, a sign-up will be available on the Counseling Department website and will be announced through homeroom slides. Letters of recommendation is another thing that causes a lot of anxiety for our students. The best rule of advice is don't ask someone to write a letter of recommendation for you until one is required. The logic behind this is that most applications, either college admissions applications or scholarship applications, have a specific recommendation form that they want filled out. So you don't want to ask a teacher or a counselor to write a letter and for them to spend 30, 45 minutes, an hour writing a letter when that's actually not what is required. And then you have to go back and give them a form that you want them to fill out. So, rule of thumb, don't ask anyone to write a letter of recommendation until one is required and you know exactly what is required. Also, please give the person that you are asking to write a letter of recommendation exactly what the application required. So if it's asking for a teacher recommendation, ask a teacher. If there's a specific form to be filled out, give the form that is required to the person that you're asking. If an online application asks you to enter an email address for a teacher or counselor, just reach out to the teacher or the counselor and ask them if they'll be willing to complete an online recommendation for you. Almost always the answer is yes, but it's very polite and thoughtful to give them a heads up. Also, give enough time. Teachers and counselors are busy, and we want to give a good letter of recommendation, and the more time we have, the better able we are to write a good and a personal letter of recommendation. It's also nice to give the person you're asking some more information about you. The people in your life usually know one aspect of your life. For example, your coach won't necessarily know about your academics. Your counselor will know all about your academics, but won't know about your part-time job. So it's very helpful to give the person that you're asking to write a letter for you a lot of information, and that way they can write a much more personal and specific recommendation letter for you. A formal resume is a great thing for you to do. It also helps in having all of your information together for when you start filling out college applications and scholarship applications. Microsoft Word and Google both have resume templates, and that's a great way to get started. Remember, anything outside the classroom is considered extracurricular. It doesn't have to be connected to school, such as a part-time job, church activities, volunteer work. Anything that is outside the classroom is considered extracurricular. Hope Scholarship is a scholarship that is administered by Georgia Student Finance Commission. It covers roughly 85% of tuition to a public college or university in the state of Georgia, or a set amount to a private school in the state of Georgia. The requirements to earn Hope are a 3.0 academic GPA. That means only English, math, science, social studies, and foreign language classes. Students also have to have a minimum of 4 rigor courses. Students will be given this information in their senior meetings. Also, you can find it on their Georgia Futures account. The Zell Miller Scholarship covers 100% tuition to public Georgia colleges, as well as a set amount awarded to private schools. The requirements for Zell Miller are a 3.7 academic GPA, 4 rigor courses, and qualifying ACT or SAT scores. These have not been waived at this point. Last year, the qualifying test scores for Zell Miller were not waived, but the deadline to test was extended. We do not know yet when that deadline is going to be for this school year. A representative from Georgia Student Finance Commission will be at the CEC on September 20th for an information session, and they will be able to discuss much more detailed and specific information. The Hope Grant is awarded to students attending a technical certification or diploma program in the state of Georgia. It covers 100% of tuition to a technical program. Counselors will be giving seniors a copy of their Hope calculation breakdown during their senior meeting. You can also access it through their Georgia Futures account. There is a tab on a Student Infinite Campus portal that says GPA. Currently, it only includes fall of 2020 classes. Counseling Department is working with Central Office to get this updated now to include spring and summer of 2021. We hope that this will be completed within the week. There are 2 ways to apply for Hope and the Zell Miller scholarships. There are links to both of these applications on the Georgia Futures account. The Georgia Student Finance application is a more simple application, or the FAFSA, the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. That also will be the application for any student loans and federal grants. When you complete the FAFSA, You will indicate what school you want the information to be released to because it is confidential information. So as long as you indicate the school that you plan to attend, they will have access to your FAFSA. And then at the end of the school year, when transcripts are final, ECHS will upload all final transcripts to Georgia Student Finance Commission for their final HOPE calculation, and colleges and universities will have access to that information from that site. Scholarships is another daunting aspect of the college application process. The largest dollar amounts for scholarships come directly from the colleges and universities themselves. The rule of thumb is that the more prestigious the scholarship, the earlier the deadline. For example, most presidential scholarships have deadlines of November 1st. So the best place to start in your scholarship search is the financial aid page of the colleges that you are applying to. Look for any scholarship that you may qualify for and apply. Some colleges will automatically put your name in the applicant pool of a scholarship if you qualify, and some colleges require additional applications for the specific scholarship. So make sure that you read very carefully about each scholarship and the requirements. There are also scholarship search engines that are great tools for searching for scholarships you might qualify for. You can see here the link on the senior class of 2022 page of the counseling department website. There is a link that says local and regional scholarship program. These are where we post every scholarship that we become aware of. Almost all of them at this point have online applications. So links directly to apply can be found on this page. When local scholarships become available, they will also be posted to this page. These are scholarships that are offered specifically to Coweta County seniors or to East Coweta High School seniors, and those begin to be available around December and run through January and March with their deadlines. Probably the most important thing to remember during the senior year is to stay connected. These are the ways that we make announcements to the senior class: through Twitter, through Instagram, through Remind, and the counseling department announces things on Facebook. Also, announcements will be made in homeroom slides and through email to students through their Coweta Schools email. It is very important that you sign up for all of these, turn on your notifications, and pay very close attention, because there is a lot of information that we need to put out there, and we don't want you to miss any announcements. For example, as far as student emails go, when it comes closer to the spring, Ms. Jones will be sending out emails to seniors about scholarships and when new applications are posted to our website. And you want to be paying attention so that you know when deadlines are coming, so that you know to log in to the counseling department website to see the new scholarships that have been posted. This slide is also on the main senior parent night slides, so you can see it in still time, and make sure that you sign up for all of those. We don't want you to miss any announcements this year, especially since we are continually monitoring CDC guidelines. Thank you for watching the Counseling Department presentation for Senior Parent Night. This slide is also on the main slideshow for Senior Parent Night with hyperlinks to all of our email addresses. Please do not hesitate to reach out to your student's counselor this year if you have any questions. We want to help you navigate this year as much as we possibly can. Thank you.